I'm here with,
Rico Rife.
and I'm your girl Mo Trouble. So we're gonna start off with some tips for starting off in the industry.
Alright, cool.
So the first question is, what is the best tip you can give to people that have recently started making music?
The best tip I could give to people that just started doing music, I would say, don't be afraid to ask for help. The music industry is all based off of relationships, and how like things like favors for favors and stuff of that nature. Unfortunately, so just don't be afraid to ask for help. If you need help with something, and always connect with people.
That's a good one. Connections is important. Okay, let's see. The next question is, I don't know why I folded these up. I don't know
I don't
why
know
I
how
did
you
that.
pulled it off either.
If you could tell your past self one thing when you started making music, what would it be?
If I could tell myself one thing, I think I would tell myself that it's a long road and not a short one, and it's better the long way because you don't want to build something overnight. It'll fall just as fast, right? So I think I would have prepared myself for the long road.
That's a good one. Wouldn't have thought of that. Okay. So after making the amount of music you have, what have you learned about the music industry?
I've learned that if you take your time with things, people will move the hell on. There's so many artists, so much good music out there that you know, if you're not dropping consistently and keeping people engaged and interested, that you might end up losing your spot. So that's probably like the biggest thing I've learned in the past few years.
What is one of the most important skills to have to be successful in the music industry?
You got to be able to interact with people. Like you can't move through this industry without making relationships. So one thing you definitely need to do is know how to like hold a conversation, know how to pitch yourself to people, know how to just connect with people that you don't know. I think that's the biggest thing.
Oh, so no introverts allowed?
Nah, unfortunately not.
Okay, and the last question. What was one thing you struggled with when you started making music?
I think I definitely struggled with the social aspect of it. I was very, like you said, I was an introvert, right? So I was just so used to being to myself and not like being able to send people my music or, just like send emails, send DMs, things of that nature. So I really had to like step outside of like my comfort zone just to connect with different people. And the more I did it, the more it paid off. So yeah.
That's good. Well, I don't see you as an introverted person. You look like an extrovert.
I'm very introverted, but I learned how to turn it on and turn it off. Like I'm generally like very closed off, but like when it comes to my music, like I know I have to step out. So my ability to just take personal experiences and make hits out of them in ways that everybody could connect to. I think that definitely separates me. I feel like everybody at this point is trying to be different, but they end up being the same. They just needs to like actually be themselves. Like I feel like people want to be different and they might necessarily not be different, but the fact they're not different makes them different. If you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
I feel like everybody just needs to actually be themselves and not like follow a trend, whatever the trend is.
I think that's what it is too. Like a lot of people are very cliche. Like it's the same song you're hearing over and over again about experiences that no one had, but everyone raps about. Like I don't know why like a lot of people don't really get in tune with themselves when they're making music, and like they just go off of what they think people want to hear instead of making what they want to produce.
Yeah. I'm like so scared to speak of writer's block. Like, I feel like once you talk about it, like you let it happen. But like I've never personally been through it. There's been like periods of times where I'm right now I'm in a period like I haven't written like music in like 2 months, but that's just because I feel like you don't want your creativity to feel like a job, So sometimes you really just gotta live without it for a second and then come back to it.
You don't force it. Like when you start thinking about it, you just write it down and it comes to you naturally. When you have that breakthrough, you'll have that breakthrough and you'll just flow with it. Cause like once you stop and you think you're gonna remember it, it never comes back.
never comes back. I even feel like when you can't come up with stuff, like one thing I always do is like I'll just go back over like anything I'd written in the past and just see if I could edit it, or like I'll just sing it over just to sing it over just to keep my my brain going. So like I don't think like I feel like writer's block is all mental, right?
Yeah.
Wow, one person right now. I think like my favorite artist ever is Drake, right? So that it'd definitely be Drake. Like, I feel like
you guys would be good on a track.
I feel like we made the best song the world's heard in like the last 10 years. I wanna grow old with you. Girl, I do the most for you.